I wanted to do a quick video on some WWE moves. I don't do this often. I mostly do WWE Raw and WWE SmackDown, but and I'm not a Paul Brothers fan, so I don't like Logan or Jake Paul, but Logan Paul I thought he did a great job at WWE in the tag team match, but I'm looking forward to him, the fact that he signed with WWE. So there'll be some matches, one at SummerSlam. There'll probably be a build up to it too, and that will be good because he did a very good job. But also, as I'm sure many have pointed out, in a tag team match it's very different. Your partner, especially somebody as good as The Miz, they can cover up for any of your shortcomings. And I'm sure over the last 3 months he's been training and stuff, so I look forward to him going up against The Miz in SummerSlam. And I know what The Miz said, but I think that Logan Paul saw it different, and I think that there'll be some build up, like there always is, and I think that there'll be a match, and I look forward to it because I think they'll both do good. The Miz is one of my favorite heels. I don't like him as well for a baby face, and I'm sure he's a great guy, but he just does the heel so well. And he's great at talking, and he's good in the ring, and he can handle being poked fun of a little bit, although he acts offended and stuff. I think you can tell it's just an act, but it's not slap your face obvious. So I think it'll be good. And honestly, they need some new feuds. Like, we don't need to see another Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. They've had, like, somebody said 8 matches. Now, they weren't all just the 2 of them, but like 5 or 6 of them were. And they didn't count like Royal Rumbles and stuff, but they did count like 4 or 5 member things and stuff like that. Those kind of matches, like ladder matches to see that were like triple threats or something like that. They counted stuff like that. But, and I know I've said it before, yeah, some of the people in the past, for one thing, it was the 80s and things are different then. But another thing, it wasn't all the time, And it wasn't that pay-per-views and stuff all the time, or paid live events, or whatever the fuck, whatever they're called now. It's just too much, They do it constantly. I mean, in like 5 or 6 years, they have faced each other like 2 or 3 times a year. And everyone is sick of it, literally. So hopefully, but they need to not let him shred through everybody. There's a reason why the 4 people that held the title longer than him were all 80s and before. It's just not done anymore. It's part of the reason why people got tired of Hulk Hogan, Because of course he would have the belt. Of course he would. And of course he's going to win. And if it's off of him for 12 seconds, it'll be back on him in a month or two. And that gets old. Same thing with Ric Flair. And it worked better in the 80s. And I'm a huge Ric Flair fan. And I grew up with Hulk Hogan. So, I grew up watching both of those, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I was a big Hulk Hogan fan, bigger than I was Ric Flair. Now, it's probably about the same. And my stepdad got back into wrestling when he saw that Hulk Hogan was in wrestling in the mid to late 1990s. But, I'm really hoping that they'll have some new feuds. I'm liking that they got done with the Bobby Lashley and almost it'll be Bobby Lashley against Theory at some point soon, and hopefully he'll get the belt. And I think Theory will go far in the future. He's in his early 20s right now, so he's nowhere near his peak. In 10 years, he'll be unstoppable, and he's a great heel. And I'm glad that they're done with Madcap Moss, the Happy Corbin feud. So it'll be nice to see Pat McAfee again. So, it's just, I'm glad that they're switching things up some, because it gets tired of seeing the same matches again, and I know the reason why, but I hate that there won't be a Rhea Ripley Bianca match, Bianca Belair, because I'm a big fan of both of them. I've said this before, and they've only wrestled one-on-one 2 or 3 times, even counting their time in NXT. And like I said before, I think it'll be finishing move versus finishing move. That's how it's ended every time that one has pinned the other. It's been if Bianca can get her in the KOD, or Rhea can get her in the Riptide, it's 1, 2, 3. But they both know the finishing move. They know that the other one's going to try it. So they try everything they can to not get into the position where they're in that move. And it's always a nice 20, 30 minute match, not this 5-minute BS. So, or maybe 18 minutes, but I consider that a 20-minute match. You know what I'm saying? And that's bell to bell. That's not a 5-minute entrance each. That's from the moment the bell rings to the moment to start the match to the moment that the bell ends because somebody won. So, and that's pretty good. And but I understand that Rhea Ripley's hurt right now. She'll be back soon. Hopefully they can have a SummerSlam match. I think Bianca will win against Carmella. I like Carmella, but I really hope Bianca wins. But between her and Ripley, they both have so much potential. And I love them both so much, I don't have a favorite. I just want it to be a clean finish, because I think they're both capable of winning on their own. And I could see the potential for both, because the longer Bianca Belair has the belt, which it'll be she'll have had it for about 4 months or so. By the time SummerSlam comes around, 3 or 4 months, because she's had it like 75 or 80 days the last time I looked. Actually, I'll look that up right now. As of today, she has been champion for 132 days. So that makes me feel a little bit different. No, hold on. That was before. So, okay, hold on. That was for when she was SmackDown champion. I was thinking it was less days than that. 88 days. Okay. So I feel a little bit different if she loses in a few weeks when SummerSlam is July 30th. So by that point, she'll have had it probably about 100 days, a little over 100 days. Over 100 days she'll have had it. So it wouldn't make her look bad if she lost it. It would do a lot of good for Rhea and Judgment Day. I really hope that they don't get stuck in like Saturday night main event and stupid stuff like that, because nobody watches Hulu's Saturday night main event. Okay, fine, 3 people watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing like being on Raw or SmackDown. So hopefully they can get back on Raw when Rhea gets over her injury. I love Rhea as a face or a heel. And honestly, she's just herself in all of it, and it rings true. You know what I mean? You can tell that she's just comfortable with who she is, and she's a badass. She's a vamp. Whether she's got whether she's a babyface or heel, and I love that about her. And some of my favorite characters have been that way. So I'm really loving Judgment Day. I hate that Edge got out, and so they had the storyline turn on him, kayfabe, turn on him. But hopefully soon, it'll be a little bit different, and he'll be able to come back maybe as a baby face, but hopefully they'll do something with Judgment Day and it won't be the end of it. And because I think that Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest especially have a lot of potential, especially Rhea though, because I think Damian Priest is like in his late 30s, and Finn Balor is, I think he's even older than me, and I'm 43, which, he's still got years left in him, but it's kind of old for a push, because part of the thing about a push is they want to get 20 years out of you or more, you know what I'm saying? But I still like seeing him. I hope that they keep the Judgment Day small, but they add a member here and there. I don't think AJ Styles and Edge should get along for a while though, because they done Edge in particular did some stuff to AJ Styles that turned him heel when he had been a baby face. So, in the 80s they could have wrapped it up and did something where they were both baby faces, only for one of them to turn heel again or something. I mean, but the wrestling world's changed in a lot of ways. Some for the good and some for the bad, but that's something that I'm kind of glad it's changed, because I mean, the, you suspend reality in a movie, but you don't want it to be so fake that, it just doesn't make any sense, and, it just doesn't work. I mean, like, it has to make sense on some level. Like, Star Trek is made in for the 23rd century or something, and so I think it's best when they don't do that. I didn't even like it back in the 80s when I was a kid, but it was kind of your choices, and then I'm glad there's different matches, mostly the Logan Paul thing. And with that said, bye.